When you're constantly thinking about, if I just had that, I would be okay. If only this problem went away. This person that's making my life miserable, if only somehow they got hit by a bus, my life would be so good. You know, every time I see a bus, I make dua. We tell ourselves, you know, if some people were removed or some problems were removed from our life, everything would be perfect. Or if just this one sadness would go away, everything would be perfect. You know, if people changed, if our situation changed, if our environment changed, we keep thinking everything else changes and then we're going to be happy, everything's going to be perfect. Then I don't have to be weak anymore. And we're preoccupied with, you know, consuming and consuming and consuming. And Allah Azza wa Jal describes, you know how weak you are? You are weaker than a fly. You're weaker than a fly. ضعف الطالب والمطلوب. And when He describes how inherently, incredibly weak I am, think about the things that are running in your mind every day. Every one of you has different things on your mind every day. You know, we're fasting, we're praying, and alhamdulillah, we try to concentrate when we're praying. But outside of that, what is on your mind? What are you worried about? What are you thinking about? What's constantly spinning in your head? What is it that you constantly wish you had or wish you didn't have anymore? For somebody, it's their sickness, or it's their depression, or this sadness, or this person, or what if only they could be happy with me, I would be okay. Some people run after making somebody happy. If only my dad would be proud of me, I would be happy. Everything would be fine. Everything would be, but your dad is a human being. And even if they are proud of you one day, their life can go the next day. Then what are you going to do? Then where do you stand? So you and I keep running after these things that we feel will make us happy, and then the next ayah Allah Azza wa Jalla says, مَا قَدَرُ اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ. They didn't value Allah like He deserved to be valued. إِنَّ اللَّهَ قَوِيٌّ عَزِيزٌ. Certainly Allah is powerful. You are weak. Allah is powerful. And then He says you didn't value Allah like He deserved to be valued. You know what He's telling you and me? He's telling you and me, you will run after things, and you will run after people, and you will run after everything in this world. Whatever your mind comes up with that you're running after, every one of those things will die. Every one of those things is weak. And that's why you've been weak. That's why you keep suffering sadness. That's why you keep suffering loss. But when you decide once and for all that the one thing you're seeking more than anything else is to make your master happy, when you seek Allah, when you value Him above all else, when you really in your heart decide that, then because He is strong, you know Allah just taught us, when you seek something weak, you become weak. But if you seek Allah who is mighty and strong, what does it make you? It makes you strong. It makes you strong. And once you become strong, things come in life and things go in life, you're still strong. You don't collapse because the things you were running after collapse. Because you're pursuing something much, much higher. And please understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying you shouldn't seek things in this world. I'm not saying that. But the ayah is teaching us something. Even as we seek those things, we understand that they're weak. And that even if they come and they go, the one thing that we cannot lose is Allah. You see, the failure of a human being is when they don't get what they want, they lose Allah. When they don't get what they want, they stop praying. When they don't get what they want, they say, I was making all this dua, it didn't work. What's the point? When they don't get what they want, they get filled with sadness and anxiety and tell themselves, I can't even get myself to talk to Allah anymore. You see, that's because from the beginning, before the problem happened, not after, before the problem happened, there was not a strong bond with Allah yet. When that strong bond with Allah is already there, like roots inside in the ground, when a storm comes, the tree will shake, but it won't collapse. It'll still be there. And after the storm is done, it will still give fruit. It will still continue to live. أصلها ثابت وفرعها في السماء, Quran says. La ilaha illallah is like a tree whose roots are deep inside the ground and his branches keep going into the sky. That's the strength of a human being. I'll give you a really powerful example of this strength, this inner strength. We associate strength with different things. And this is a story I spoke about many years ago, but it still moves me to this day. I knew a family in the state of New Orleans in the United States. And this family was very wealthy. They had many car dealerships. And New Orleans is on the coast, so they had car dealerships right on the beach. Right? And luxury cars. They would import cars and sell them and import and sell them. And then Hurricane Katrina came. And when Katrina came, of course, it starts with the water. So all of their cars that were bought in cash were flooded. And the only car they had left was this Lexus. I remember they had that Lexus, an LS something, that they escaped in. The family escaped in one car. And a few months after the storm had receded and the city was opened up again, I went to visit that family, and the whole family, who were literally making, I think it was something to the tune of $250,000 a month. That's the kind of money they were making. And now they were delivering pizza in that Lexus. That's what the family does. They were hired by some other guy who runs a pizzeria, and the mom and the dad are in the back making pizzas, and the son goes around delivering the pizzas in the Lexus. And when I saw that, can you imagine if somebody else went through that? Like some other millionaire went from that to nothing? You know what happened to them? They'd take a bottle of pills and be done with it. Because what they had, this was what made them strong. When this goes away, I can't handle this anymore. I can't take it. I can't take this kind of loss anymore. And so, but this family, when I met them, every one of them, so calm, so peaceful. And the father was an older man. And I would think at that age, if you suffer this kind of loss, you'd get a heart attack, you'd get high blood pressure, but he's completely relaxed. And I just asked him, how? I didn't even finish my question. I just said, how? And he smiled, because he knows what I'm talking about. And he says to me, before, when business was good, all the time I was on my phone, did the shipment arrive? Did the payment come late? Did the car get delivered? Is the customer happy? Did we do the taxes? Employee problems, this problem, that problem. And I barely made it to Jummah. Barely. Now, there's still food on the table. There's still a roof over our head. But I get to go to the masjid and go pray in peace. And I get to go out, get up in the morning, and I don't have to think about anything except remembering my Rabb and thanking Him. Actually, I pretty much feel that before my life ended, Allah gave me this blessing of simplifying my life. That's what the Father says. A normal human being will not say that. If you said that to another businessman, you'll say, man, this guy lost his mind. He's clearly traumatized, and he's lost his senses, and he's trying to rationalize this to himself, and he's trying to cope with it in this way. But let me tell you, this is what happens when a person recognizes that the thing we run after is what? Is weak, and only Allah is strong.